there, I'm Energy Green Grandpa. In the last several years, there's been a lot of talk about climate change, and there's a lot of perspectives on climate change. One of the perspectives is that it's a hoax. That's not true. There's considerable evidence to show that the planet is warming. And we've talked before why the planet is warming. Basically, there are greenhouse gases that have the ability to get heat that's coming off the earth after reflection from the sun, and then those gases enter into the atmosphere, go higher, and then they open up and release some of that heat. Some goes in the atmosphere, some comes back down to earth. That would not be a problem, but we just keep adding those gases and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. It's just like turning up the thermostat. And so that's what's been happening. So it's true, and the science is easy to understand. That's basically the science. Thousands of studies have been made, and it's true. Another perspective is that it's too late. We're doomed, and there's nothing we can do about it. And another one is shut down all the fossil fuel companies now, and we'll just stop it. Well, you do that, the economy collapses because we're almost entirely dependent on fossil fuels at this particular time. So that's impossible. That's impossible. The thing that I found has been maybe the most kind of frightening in a way, that there are many people that are just disinterested. I believe in climate change, but I've got other things to do, and I'm really not, particularly worried about it. Maybe I should do more, but I just don't really care. And it seems to be, surprisingly, that there's two groups that kind of had this attitude. The under 30, believe it or not, and the over 70. Well, I can believe that since I hang around with over 70 people all the time. So there are things that we can do about climate change. Like I mentioned before, that I'm from Kansas, and that we have been doing quite a bit in the area of electric utility carbon emissions in Kansas. And so over the last several years, and we continue to do so. And it's possible in Kansas to reduce the electric utility carbon emissions 90% by 2040. The ways we do this is, right now, Kansas has wind and nuclear power is 68.7% of the state through the electric utilities receive their electricity from non-fossil fuel sources. And then you have coal and natural gas are about 36.9% as I see. And then we have the solar and biomass and petroleum, which are about 0.4%. So the question is, what's the problem? Well, the problem is that 35, and we'll call it 36% of coal and natural gas. What can we do to replace it with something that does not produce fossil fuels? You can do this in your state or your province or anywhere in the world in your legal district and analyze this. This information is available online for every place in the world. So the problem can be solved in every area of the world. You just have to analyze what needs to replace the fossil fuel sources of energy that you have in your area. And this is fairly easy to do. And it can be done over 20 years or so to bring it down to at least 90%. And this can be done easily, but it's expensively. And just be calm about it and work together. Some of the things that you can do is you can begin at home. First of all, and we've talked about this before, you can have an airtight dwelling, your energy efficient lighting, heating, and cooling in your home, energy efficient appliances, and a lot of individual discipline. In other words, turn off the lights. Another thing that you can do is you can expand out of your home, stay in your home to some degree, I guess, because you can, if you're out in the country in particular, you can have wind energy to help bring electricity in your home. And some of that wind energy can go into the grid, the total electric grid, and be used. And then for the community that you live in, particularly small communities, using wind turbines, you can actually produce electricity for the whole community. But you probably want to make sure that you have it go into a grid where if something happens to those turbines, then the electric company that has the grid can come back and provide the electricity if something goes wrong. And then the same thing with residential solar, which again you would have residential wind, which you can have at your home, and you have community wind in your community, a couple of wind turbines there to produce the electricity. Many people are putting solar collectors on their homes. We're doing that right now with our place in the country. And then you can have community solar, which if you're a smaller community, you can provide all the electricity from solar electricity to your community and stay on the grid. And so you have that protection against storms and things on that order. Another thing that you can do in your household is you can purchase electric vehicles and make sure, of course, that you'll have some source of a charge. You can put that in the garage for your vehicle. We need to get more work to get more of the charge sites around, along highways and around the country. So these are kinds of problems that are solvable. We're not gonna die. We've always, as human beings, have always solved problems, and we can do it. And we can make it in 20 years, we'll have some major changes if everybody will work together and do that.